Hello there ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dunzy's Guitar Stuff. Today we have two guitar lessons in one, two Cheap Trick songs. If anything else, this is a lesson in how a deceptively simple group of chords can end up being such a fantastic pop tune. What you really need is a fantastic backing band and a great singer with great melodies. So these two tunes are quite similar chords, not particularly complex, but when you listen to the finished track, they're just brilliant. They're such good tunes, melodic, and they're both in standard tuning. And this is a 1965 Gibson Melody Maker, which has had replacement pickups. These are 1970 T-tops. I believe it was converted in 1970. It's had the selector switch added. It's had EBR1 bridge and a stop tailpiece added. And the tuners have been changed out to vintage Grovers, and the control plate's possibly been changed, so it's really original wood. I'm not sure if this is Brazilian rosewood on the fingerboard. I don't know if Gibson were still doing that in 65 on the lower end models, but this really is a fantastic guitar. It weighs less than £7 and it's so resonant. It's like an old piano, except you wouldn't want to go on stage playing an old piano. Well, I wouldn't anyway.
Got beautiful eyes. You got beautiful thighs.
So the first song we're going to do today is Never Had a Lot to Lose. Now these two songs are just mostly all power chords. So the first chord is just a B power chord. He's playing that on the 2nd fret of the A string and the 4th fret of the D string. Just those two notes. Then he pulls off that 2nd fret B note to an open A string. And then he hits an open E, bottom string open, then comes up to this E chord up here on the 7th fret, starting on the 7th fret of the A string. So play that part. Now when he's at the E power chord up here, what he does is he brings his pinky down onto the 11th fret of the G string and plays this. So he's putting it down then bringing it back up while still playing the E chord. So the whole intro goes. And the verse is just a B power chord again to an E power chord. So he plays that 3 times, and the 4th one it still does the same chords, but he leads down to the E with a G and an F sharp on the bottom E string. When he hits the E power chord, he also hits the top 2 strings as well. And then going into the bridge, it's just an A chord, A power chord here, which he hits twice, and the 2nd chord of the bridge is this C sharp. Now he hits that and he keeps his first finger down but moves his other fingers up and catches the 4th fret of the D and G strings. So the bridge goes like this. And then into the chorus. third part of the song is, in the middle the band are playing just an E chord, and Rick goes up to the 7th fret of the A string and hits this E note. Now on the studio version, that note plays all the way through. You can hear another guitar which is really low in the mix. I've never seen Rick play this live. He normally just keeps playing the E and then does some whammy bar action. There's no whammy bar on a 1965 Melody Maker, certainly not on this one. There would have been a vibrola, I think, on the original version. I digress. So what I do when I've done this live, I did a Cheap Trick covers band for a while, and this was always in the set. I play this like this. And what that is, it's the 9th fret of the D and G string, which I'm just playing with my 2nd and 3rd fingers, and then drop the G string down one note to the 8th fret. Now I just leave the top 2 strings ringing open as well. And then I take the G string down to the 6th fret, and don't play anything on the D string but keep the top strings open. And then move that back up 2 frets to the 8th. Again, I'm not playing anything on the D string. And then back to the first note you played, the E chord up here on the 9th fret. And then drop the 3rd string down to the 8th again, and then back on to the 9th. So play that all together. And then it goes straight back into the bridge to the C sharp chord. And that's the whole of that tune. As I said, there's nothing particularly challenging about it, other than the fact they had to write it, and it's such a great pop tune. So the second song is Come On, Come On. I did the version of the At Budokan album. So this is quite a simple tune as well. There's not a lot in this. 5th, 4th and 3rd string, so it's just an E shape, but you're leaving the top 2 strings ringing open and you're not playing any root note on the E string. Up to the A, up to the B. Now on the studio version and live as well, sometimes Robin's playing a 12 string, so he's accenting the top 2 strings ringing open. So the first part of the verse starts in an E major chord, to a B power chord, to an A, and then you can hear Rick bringing down his pinky to play the 12 bar on the A. So it goes like this. And the second part of the verse is a C sharp minor to an F sharp major to a B, and then back to the E part again. Then that plays that part another 2 times. And then into the chorus, which is just the same as the intro. a verse and then into the chorus, and that'll give you an idea how it goes. And that's pretty much the whole tune. There is a bit in the middle where the band, when it plays that last B, goes to an E. Leave hanging for 4 bars, then play another one, before going back into the C sharp minor part. Now over those 2 E chords, Rick's playing up here on the 12th fret, just a pentatonic, and if you watch him playing live, I think it changes every night depending on how many picks he's thrown out, where he is on the stage, and whether he's thrown his guitar about or not. But to me it sounds like he's playing this pentatonic off the 12th fret on the B string and bending up the 14th fret of the G string. He definitely plays that, which is 14, 12 of the G string down to 14 of the A string, and then 2 notes on the 12th fret of the G string back to the 14th fret of the D string. So I'll play that part. And then the second part, he's playing the 14th fret of the G string, bending that up while catching the 15th fret of the B string. Or something like that. So that's both those songs. It was really just to say that there's not a lot on the guitars in these songs, but the most important thing is the band taken as a whole. It's the songwriting, the melodies especially, and all the little parts that Tom's doing on the bass as well. It's the whole thing. So they're not hard to play, but I would suggest that they're quite hard to write. Although Cheap Trick have been doing it for 30 or 40 years now. So thank you for watching this. If you're not subscribed, please do so. Please click like, that all helps me out. The more people see these lessons, the more I'll be able to do them. So thank you once again. Cheers.